introduce to you the Fire Chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Chief Osby.
Good morning. Actually, I have some speaking points here, but they're kind of blurry. But on behalf of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, we would like to thank all of you for your attendance here, coming to honor and to celebrate the life of firefighter specialist Shawn. Although I never had the opportunity to work directly with him, it's evident by the number of firefighters that are here and friends that are here that he was a good man and that he really cared about his job. And from some of the stories I've heard about him, he truly cared about people. When he was ill, I've had several opportunities to visit him. I visited him at home and I visited him in the hospital. And from looking at his bio, I can tell that although his career was cut short, that he liked to remain busy. That he was initially assigned to our camp program prior to becoming a recruit firefighter, and then after successfully passing recruit class 112, he was assigned to busy fire stations like Station 36, Fire Station 171, Fire Station 21, and then his final fire station, Fire Station 8. And for those in here that are on the Los Angeles County Fire Department, we can recognize that those are busy stations and they all have their unique characteristics as it relates to their jurisdiction. In addition to that, in my dialogue with Shawn, we had an opportunity to talk about stories. And I'm looking at some of the guys on those respective stations because he has some pretty good stories. But we agreed they all exceeded 5 words, and there's nothing I could do about it. But it was obvious that in addition to being busy, that he had truly enjoyed being with his comrades and his co-workers. As articulated by our chaplain, this is truly a sad day for the Los Angeles County Fire Department and the members of this department. And as it relates to our memorial management team, we've had way too many funerals this year. This morning, when I was sitting in my office, I was just thinking about the goals and objectives of this organization and the things that we can do to continuously improve this department. And recently, we unveiled a strategic plan. And the number one objective of that strategic plan was preventing injury and illness. It was to care for each member of the workforce, to ensure that they get to work safe, that they go home safe, that we end each shift by proactively doing our best to prevent work-related injuries, accidents, and illnesses. And as you all recognize, Shawn succumbed to job-related illness, cancer. And unfortunately, right now, that's the number one challenge that our firefighters in this profession is facing. But through all of his challenges, it was interesting when I saw him, and I was always amazed. He kind of reminded me of that resilient palm tree that you see in a hurricane or a typhoon. That when the wind's blowing, you see the trees bending over, and the fronds are blown with the direction of the wind. But after the storm is over, and there's destruction and damage, you can always see the palm trees standing tall and straight. And I saw that same resilience in Shawn, that each time I saw him, he was challenged medically. He had tubes and challenges, but each time I saw him, he sat up, he walked when he could, he smiled, he was positive, He always talked about when he can come back to work and what he would finish doing. When I think about all of our core values, the one that stands out the most is courage. Because through his challenges, he faced that challenge head on. And I always felt that each time I saw him that if anyone would be able to overcome that challenge, it would be him. Through his demeanor and through his positive and confident experience that challenge. To Bonnie and to Ryan and the rest of the family, I know that you've been challenged, and we know that before you lost your husband and your dad, and really that's enough for one family. But now to you lose your son and your brother, that is truly a challenge. And our hearts go out to you and to your family and friends as it relates to that loss. But one thing that I can say that's positive, and it was evident that some of us never find our passion in life. But Shawn did find his passion in life. That he truly enjoyed what he did. And most of us can't say that are in this profession. That we recognize that the fire service is a noble profession, but it's also a very dangerous profession. But he found that passion. And for those of us that wear the badge, and Shawn, I never worked with him, but he was a firefighter specialist or an engineer. But we know that the engineer in the firehouse is a straw boss. And that's the person that gets things done. And from what I heard from him, the work is never done. And although he's no longer with us, he's in a better place where he's no longer suffering. We know that he's a straw boss up there getting work done. On behalf of the family, we really want to thank you for sharing Shawn with us. We wanted you to know that the Los Angeles County Fire Department will always be a family and supportive organization and entity to you. That we appreciate Shawn's service. He will always be remembered and never forgotten.